first step when you meditate is to get your body into position. Your right leg on top of your left, your hands in your lap, right hand on top of your left. Sit up straight, look straight ahead of you, and then close your eyes. That's the body in position. The next step is to get the mind in position. First, start with thoughts of goodwill, because that's why we're here. Goodwill is the wish for happiness, both for your own happiness and for the happiness of everybody else. And this is what we're working on as we meditate. We're taking that wish and we're working on it. Looking for a way to bring true happiness to ourselves and true happiness to the people around us. So, spread thoughts of goodwill first to yourself and then out in ever-widening circles. People who are close to your heart, people you know well and like, people you're more neutral about, and even people you don't like. Don't let there be any limitation on your goodwill, because that's a limitation on your own mind, on your own happiness. At the same time, think about it. If everyone in the world could find true happiness, the world would be a much better place. And then spread thoughts of goodwill to people you don't even know, and not just people, all living beings of all kinds, east, west, north, south, above and below, out to infinity. May we all find true happiness. Then the next step is to bring your awareness back to the present moment. What have you got here? You've got the body sitting here breathing, and you've got the mind that's thinking and aware. So you bring all those things together. Think about the breath. And then be alert to the breath. What's the breath doing right now? Is it coming in? Is it going out? Where do you sense it coming in? Where do you sense it going out? For the time being, just put aside any preconceived notions you may have about where the breath comes in and where it goes out. Just notice how it actually feels. Because breathing is not just air coming in out of the lungs. It's the whole process by which the body brings the air in and expels the air. And that's not just a matter of the nose and the lungs. The entire nervous system can be involved. Different parts of the body expand and contract to bring in that air. That's all counted as part of the breathing process. So wherever you're most aware of the breathing process, focus your attention there. And try to make that spot comfortable. You can do it by adjusting the length of the breath, the depth of the breath. Whether it's fast or slow, heavy or light. Whatever ways you have of adjusting the breath so that your sensation of the breathing feels good. That's getting the mind in position. Now the problem with both the body and the mind in position is how to keep them there. It's not that difficult to get them into position, but to keep them there, that's a little bit more difficult. And particularly the mind, because the mind is so used to running around. The body could sit here perfectly still. In the course of 5 minutes, the mind could have gone around the world many, many times. So this is the point you have to focus on most. In fact, all the real issues are in the mind. Even when there's pain in the body itself doesn't really object to the pain, doesn't mind. It's the mind that gets upset by the pain. So we have to work mainly with the mind here. If you find that it wanders off, just bring it right back. Wanders off again, bring it back again. Try not to get frustrated with it, try not to get discouraged. As it's so used to wandering, it's accepted as normal. The mind is going to wander. Your duty right now is to catch it as quickly as you can and to bring it back. And bring it back without a lot of recrimination. Just gently bring it back to the breath and try to make the breath as comfortable as possible. The more comfortable it is, the less likely the mind will be to wander off. In fact, if you get the breath really comfortable, you find it really absorbing. Exploring where in the body you feel the different parts of the breathing sensations, the breathing process. Which parts of the body feel tense? If you want, you can make a survey of the whole body, starting from the top of the head on down, or starting at the navel and going up the front of the body, then down the back, out the legs. Then beginning again at the back of the neck, go out the arms. Just survey how the different parts of the body are or are not involved in the breathing process, where you feel tension related to the breath. If you feel any tension anywhere, let it relax, let it dissolve away. This way you make the breathing a lot more interesting. And then choose whichever part of the body you want to settle down with and settle down there. As for pains, at this stage of the game you don't have to focus on them yet. If there's a pain in the leg, just let it be in the leg. You don't have to be down there in the leg with it. You can stay in any other part of the body where the breathing feels comfortable. That's your choice. And be careful not to tense up around the pain. Think of the breath, as I said, as a whole body process, and the breathing, once it's comfortable, can go through all the nerves and just go right through any pain there may be. So you don't compound the pain by tensing up around it. So try to develop a sense of wanting to be here, liking to be here. Try to make the breath your friend. Many times when you're meditating and things don't seem to be going well, it's as if the object of your meditation becomes your enemy. It's the hardest thing to focus on, and it seems to want to slip away. Well, that's not the case at all. That's your own misperception. If you make friends with the breath, it's a lot easier to stay here. Meaning friends means one, trying to sense as precisely as possible what it really feels like, as opposed to your preconceived notions of what it should feel like, or where you should feel it. In other words, listen to the breath. And then secondly, allow the breath to get more comfortable. And basic principles in establishing any kind of friendship. Listen to the other person, allow the other person to feel at ease and at home. And soon you find that that other person starts opening up. Same with the breath. The breath energy in the body has lots to offer. Even speaking on just the physical side, it can relieve a lot of stress problems, a lot of diseases associated with stress. On the mental side, the breath can create a sense of ease and belonging here in the present moment. So it feels good to be right here, just breathing in, breathing out. When you get more friendly with the breath becomes your friend. Then you're more inclined to want to stay. To see what you can learn from the breath. That's the first step in having the meditation go well. There are actually 4 steps altogether, and maybe not to think of them as steps, but 4 component factors in the mental attitude you should have towards the meditation to make it go well. The first one is just simply the desire to do it, wanting to do it, being inclined to do it. If you find that your mind is not inclined, step back and reason with it. Think of the importance of training the mind. Here it is, the major factor in your life, and if it's untrained, it's like giving your car over to a crazy person to drive. You have no idea where the crazy person is going to take that car, when he's going to run off the road, run into somebody, because you have no control over him. It's the same with your mind. Here is the mind that shapes your life, and if you have no control over it, you don't know where it's going to take you. And so what we're doing as we're meditating is developing a measure of control, and not the sort of control freaks, but someone who's intelligent in knowing how to administer and manage things so that the mind feels happy to do what you see really should be done. That requires mindfulness, it requires alertness, and those are precisely the qualities we're developing